Hey guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to be doing today is we'll be breaking down our Saturday matchups we have coming up for Week 17 of the 2024 NFL football season. We have games spread out all throughout the week: Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday this weekend, Sunday, Monday. Lots of NFL games. The season is starting to draw to a close, but we're going to be focusing on those Saturday matchups, trying to predict the outcome, who's going to win, who's going to lose, and what the final score will be. We'll also touch on the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Every week, we're going over every NFL game. We'll also do the same thing for every college football game as well. This is bowl season, and we have the college football playoffs going on right now. First year of the 12-team format. If you're a football fan, a lot of football news going on, a lot of sports news going on. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. But let's go ahead and get started looking at our Saturday games. The very first one we're going to have Saturday, this is going to be at 1 p.m. on the NFL Network on December 28th. We have the 9-6 LA Chargers versus the 3-12 New England Patriots. Patriots really need a win here right now. They want to get some momentum going into next season. But the Chargers, they're looking at the playoffs. They want to finish the season on a high note, carry that momentum into the playoffs. Right now, the Chargers are heavy favorites, 61.6% chance to win this game. 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 42.5. When I think Chargers, I think Harbaugh, and I think Harbaugh football. That's running the ball. That's playing elite playoff caliber defense. Obviously, right now, they're going to be led by Justin Herbert. A very efficient season so far, keeping the turnovers down. He's closing in on 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. But this is a defensively focused team. They're pretty banged up at the running back position, but they might have J.K. Dobbins back this past weekend. Do not underestimate how important that is. Harbaugh wants to run the ball. He wants to establish this team at the line of scrimmage, in the trenches. They want to run downhill, and then they want to open up that play action second half. Right now, they're averaging 21.9 points a game, throwing for 200.8, running for 106.5. But it's that defense right now tied for first in the NFL, only giving up 18.3 points a game. You don't want to underestimate that defense. They get a lot of pressure. They get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. That's where this game is going to rest mainly on Drake May. He has to have one of the best games of his season so far in order for them to beat the Chargers. The Chargers are on the road here, but defense does travel on the road. Right now, Drake May is closing in on 2,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 10 picks. You don't want any turnovers this game. He is going to have to be a very clean game from the Patriots offense. Right now, they're averaging 17.3, throwing for 178.5, running for 119.7, giving up 24.1 points per game. They don't have a bad defense, but they are on the field a lot. If they get into the red zone, they got to punch those in. They're going to need touchdowns this game, not field goals. Looking at the playmakers, obviously for the Chargers, Herbert. The passing game has opened up a lot more second half of the season. First half, very run heavy. Coming into the second half, Herbert obviously got a lot more confident in this playbook, but also Ladd McConkey really stepped up second half. He's been his go-to weapon. He has been banged up the last few weeks. He should be playing this Saturday, and they should have J.K. Dobbins as of right now. And looking at the Patriots, they have a lot of work this offseason. They really have to overhaul the offensive roster. They need more playmakers for Drake May. They have Stevenson. They have Hunter Henry. So what do we have as the outcome to this game? As of right now, we're going to go with the Chargers pulling off the win, winning this one 24-16. We have them covering the spread, but we're just slightly coming in with the under. And the next Saturday game we're going to be taking a look at, also on the NFL Network at 4:30 p.m., the 9-6 Denver Broncos versus the 7-8 Cincinnati Bengals. This is actually an under-the-radar, really competitive game. Right now, the Broncos, they've had a really solid second half to the season. Their offense have really picked things up second half. They've had a good defense basically since week 1 this season. As of right now, you have the Cincinnati Bengals have a 57.1% chance to win this game. They are at home. They are 3.5-point favorites. The over here is 49.5. Denver, the offense playing better second half. They have the defense. The defense will be coming with them on the road. Cincinnati, you have the offense. You have an atrocious defense. One of the worst defenses in the NFL. Thankfully for them, they have an offense that's capable of scoring on anyone in the NFL. No matter who they've played this season, they've been able to put up points. But also, no matter who they played this season, they've been giving up points. That's why this game is potentially setting up to be a high-scoring shootout. Could go down to the fourth quarter. Could go down to just whoever has the ball last. Looking at the Denver quarterback, obviously you have Bo Nix. Really bad start to the season. Sloppy first 2 games. A lot of picks. Since then, They've overhauled the way they're calling plays. Bo Nix has adapted to Sean Payton's system, and Sean Payton has adapted his system to Bo Nix's strength. Dink and dunk, short, accurate passes, roll that pocket out. Always give him the option to use his mobility, potentially scramble for the first down. That's where they could potentially have a game-changing play here. They have a quarterback who can extend plays, who can run for the first down, keep you controlling that time of possession. More importantly, keep Joe Burrow and that offense off the field. You don't want to give Joe Burrow more touches with the football. Right now, Bo Nix, he's closing in on 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, 11 picks. Solid rookie season. They're averaging 24.2, throwing for 205.5, running for 108.5, and also a top 3 defense right now, only giving up 18.7 points per game. They will be bringing that defense with them on the road. They're only giving up 99.8 on the ground. One of the better rush defenses in the NFL. Cincinnati, they're really not a good running team, but they do have one of the best, if not the best wide receiver core in the nation. Easily top 3 wide receiver core, but it's all based around Joe Burrow, who's putting up MVP caliber numbers this season. It's just the defense is awful. It's kept them under 500, but they have a chance here. If they win this game, they've chipped their way back to 500 with a very slight chance to potentially sneak into the playoffs. Right now, Burrow is closing in on 4,300 yards, 39 passing touchdowns, only 8 picks, having a really good season statistically, but he's putting up big numbers because every game is a shootout. He doesn't have the luxury of going 3 and out. He basically has to score at least get a field goal every single possession. They have a top 5 offense. They're averaging 28.2 points a game, leading the NFL in passing, 267.3 passing yards per game, only 92.7 rush yards per game. They don't run the ball particularly well, and Denver already has an elite rush defense. So obviously they're going to completely try to shut down the run game, force Burrow into 3rd and long situations. You're not probably going to pick him off. He's not going to have a sloppy game. Been playing really good this season, but maybe you can just force some errant throws and try to get some 3 and outs. Right now they are giving up 26.2 points a game. They score a lot of points. They give up just as many points. This game is probably going to be close. One possession could go down to that final minute. Looking at Denver, they have Williams, they have Sutton, and on the other side, Chase Brown, he's been a little banged up, but he's closing in on 1,000 yards. Jamar Chase leads the NFL in receiving yards, closing in on 1,600, and they have Higgins. That's why I said one of the better wide receiver cores in the nation. So what outcome do we have this Saturday for the Denver-Cincinnati game? We have Cincinnati squeaking this one out, winning it, one possession game. They win it 33-27. They cover the spread. We're going with the over. To me, I personally feel comfortable going with the over here, but I could see Denver also winning this game just because you don't know how bad Cincinnati's defense will be. It'll be bad, but just how bad will it? That's the question mark. And then finally, our last game for the Saturday slate. It's going to be on the NFL Network at 10 p.m., the late one, the 7-8 Arizona Cardinals. What version of Arizona shows up? They've been up and down throughout the whole season. Good game, bad game. They could win this game. They could potentially get blown out this game. They'll be playing the 9-6 LA Rams, who have really come on strong since they got their entire offensive roster back. I've been saying the whole season, don't judge this team by their record. They're much better than they've been playing. They just had a lot of players banged up. Since all those guys have come back, this has been a completely different team. They are loaded on the offense. Any game, they are capable of getting into a shootout and potentially winning it. Right now, the Rams are the favorites at home. 5.5 point favorites. The over in here is 6.5. They are favored by... They are 6.5 point favorites. The over in here is going to be 47.5. When you're looking at the quarterback situation, Kyler Murray started out the season pretty hot. Not the best last couple games, but still they have a chance to stay around 500. Try to finish this season on a high note. They might not make the playoffs this season, but still positive momentum from where they left off last season. He's closing in on 3,300 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 picks. He can also add 5 rushing yards to that. Just like Bo Nix, it's what he can do with his legs. That's a game changer. That's the X factor here. He could scramble for first downs. He can pick up massive runs on the ground here, but he always keeps his eye looking down the field. He can throw on the run just as well as anyone. Right now, they're averaging 22.9. Not a bad offense by any means. Throwing for 207.6, running for 145.8. Very balanced offense, and they're giving up 22.8. That's not great, but it's much better than where they started the season, much better than where they ended last season. The pass rush is better than it was last year. That's a building block going forward. And then looking at the Rams, obviously you have the veteran Stafford closing in on 3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 picks. He's a gunslinger here. He is prepared to get into a shootout in a game. That's just the way the guy was built. They're averaging 21.9, throwing for 224, running for 107.5, giving up 23.1 points a game. A lot of holes on defense. That's where you leave the door open for the Arizona Cardinals offense to keep this game close, potentially win its second half, fourth quarter. They can get that last possession. They can pull off the upset victory here. But the Rams offense, it is an elite offense. They can run it. They can throw it. They're built to get into shootouts. Looking at the Cardinals, obviously Kyler Murray, James Conner, McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., they have the weapons there. The team is built to compete with the Rams. The Rams defense is going to give them opportunities here. But I see Stafford being the veteran here. You have Williams, our running back, closing in on 1,300 yards rushing. He's one of the running backs no one talks about, but putting together a really good season, and he missed some time. And then obviously you have a loaded wide receiver room, Nakua, Cooper Kupp, Atwell. So many weapons for Stafford to spread the ball out to. He has veterans, he has young guys, and the defense, you just have to hold the Cardinals at bay, let the Rams offense do what they do. So what outcome do we have in this game? We have the Rams pulling off the win here, winning this one 27-23. We're going to go with the +6.5 here, but we will also be going with the over. So that's our breakdown for our Saturday matchups we have coming up for this coming Saturday NFL games of 3 games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop them below, and I will respond. Thank you.